and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
Only moments ago, New York has come under attack. Witnesses claim to have seen hundreds of UFOs. It's opening fire! Oh my God!
One word from the moon begins. Invasion.
Do that, because we just have
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Akim out there pushing this word with all truth and sincerity. And to all you believers out there who believe on the gospel. It's the brother Kwara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. I just want to go into a lesson, as if you in the know, you seen this guy Vocab Malone. You see, recently did a video talking about that so-called UFOs, they are not in the Bible, and pretty much denying the power of the Heavenly Father, man. You see why? Because it's, remember, and we, Lord willing, go into it. The so-called UFOs, which is the biblical name formed by the chariots of Israel. Remember, that's a strange thing to this world, man. That's one of the mysteries in the scriptures, and that's why I want to come under the Lord. You see, when Yahweh shall make his second coming, who the world ignorant called Jesus, is going to be a strange deliverance, man. You see? So my question for Vocab Malone is, if UFOs are not in the Bible, then how will Yahweh Shai, or Jesus, right? How will the Lord make his second coming? What would it be like? You feel me? Remember when it say he going to say, come up hither, right? Lord willing, we get that scriptures to the elect, right? How is that going to happen? What they go up hither into? You see? When it said we shall all meet the Lord in the air, what we going to meet him in? What is it going to be that we going to meet him in? Is it a literal cloud? We all just up in the cloud, a puffy white cloud. You see? Is that what it's going to be? You see? Because, hey, that's the thing with these people, man. Especially these Christians, and Vocab at the head of it. They quick to tell us what's not, but they never tell us what is. You would say it's not UFOs. When they talk about the chariots and salvation and, it's not a UFO. Okay, well, if it's not, then tell us what is. Because we telling you what we believe and know it is. But you tell us what it is, then, since it's not. Right? and another thing. What are all these sightings that's been recorded around the world? These lights in the sky that people seeing, these maneuvers that a man-made craft can't make. What is that? Right? Now, if you say, well, yeah, they're UFOs, but it's not how Jesus go come back. Okay, well, what's in those UFOs? Are you telling me it's aliens? Green men with big heads? With the big eyes? Right? Because it's clear that UFO sightings are being shown, man, are being seen. It's all over the internet. You got some CGI or whatever, but, man, it's UFO sightings. So what are those beings in those UFOs if it's not the angels of the Lord, Vocab, or whoever else don't believe in it? Or are they aliens or what? So I just want to go into a couple scriptures, man, bringing that out, going into the coming of the Lord. Because the elect got to be beamed up into something. You see? Into something. The Lord got to come back some way. So, let me grab this first, because I remember I seen a video of Vocab Malone a while back. And matter of fact, I think it was out here in Houston, I believe. But that's neither here nor there. But a brother asked him, how's the Lord going to come back? Something to that extent. And, he got all dramatic, talking about, and a white horse and a so-and-so with the scriptures. Yeah, it said a white horse. But is that literal or symbolic, right? Was that a parable that they were speaking, a dark saying? Or he gonna come back on a literal white horse, you know, a horse running in the air, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and then with Santa Claus. Man, is that how the Lord gonna come back? You see? So I'm gonna start with this Revelation 19:11. It says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. Is this the horse the Lord gonna come back in, Vocab? Riding on? Right? It says, and I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doeth judge and make war. So this is talking about the coming of the Lord. It said he sat upon a white horse, right? Now, Vocab or Christian believers might literally think this talking about a literal horse, but no, man. You see, that's talking about the power of the Lord gonna come in, man. Pure power, in other words. You know how they say a car got horsepower, right? White because of what? The Lord gonna come back in a pure, perfect form, man. You see, no sin, perfect. You see, with power, man. Right? But let's read a little bit more. And it says, in his eyes was a flame of fire, telling you it's talking about the Lord Yahweh. And on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed in a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of the Most High. Right? And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses. So is the angels, the angels go come back on white horses too? You see? It says, and white horses clothed in fine linen, white and clean, man. Now, so that's the question, is the Lord coming back on a literal horse, right? But I want to go to this real quick, because you know the Bible don't contradict itself. Now, this is going to say something different on how the Lord going to come back. So we already got a white horse, right? So that's one option, right? You see? So let's read this. This is Acts 1:6. It says, when they therefore will come together, talking about the disciples on Yahweh. It says, when they therefore will come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? Telling you the kingdom of heaven only for the Israelites, man. Just like us today, we're looking for the rulership of the Israelites to be set up. Well, guess what? The apostles and the disciples and the prophets were looking for the same exact thing, man. The rulership of the Israelites to be set up, which is said in Isaiah 60, which is prophecy, that the heathens gonna build up our kingdom, just like we built up all the other heathens rulerships. For example, like Egypt, America. Well, guess what? They go build up our kingdom too, man. Right? It says, and he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power, but ye shall receive power after that the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me, both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost parts of the earth. Now watch this. Check this out. It says, and when he had spoken these words, so when the Lord, finished talking to the disciples, it says, and when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. So it says a cloud received the Lord out of the sight of the disciples, right? So he ascended up into a cloud. Let's read on. It says, and while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? Now this is the key point, because remember, it just said the Lord ascended up into a cloud, right? And the disciples, gazing in amazement. But watch what the angels gonna tell the disciples. It says, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye up gazing up into heaven? Listen to this. This same Yahweh, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. Let's read that again. It says, verse 9, and when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye up gazing into heaven? This same Yahweh, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. And what's that like manner that he went into the heavens? In a cloud, right? So the angels said, and the angels ain't lying. The angel said, in like manner, he go come back the same way he went up. So in other words, just like the Lord went up into that cloud, into heaven, he go come back in like manner in that cloud, man. Now, again, the Bible don't contradict itself. Revelation said he came on a white horse, but this one said a cloud. Now let's make something clear real quick. It ain't talking about a literal cloud in the sky, man. Let's get what this talking about. This is Psalms 104:3. Let's find out what the cloud is. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariots, who walketh upon the wings of the wind, man. You see, those clouds are symbolic for the chariots, man. You know, they can cloak themselves or whatnot, but the chariots have many code words or code names, so to speak, in the scriptures, man. You see, like when Elijah got beamed up and said, what, horses of fire? Right? Oh, perfect example. Coming out of Egypt. What it said, follow the Israelites, a pillar of cloud by day and a fire by night, man. So what was that cloud? Talking about a chariot, man, getting them through there. How else at night they was gonna see? It was a literal, fire. You all know, man, that's the lights from the chariots, man. You see? So again, the Bible ain't contradict itself when it said in Revelation he gonna come back on a horse. But over here the angel said, just as he was taken up into a cloud, he gonna come back in the cloud. Well, guess what? The Lord coming back in that so-called UFO, man. You see? Because he gonna have to beam the elect up somehow. You know, like the Christians say the rapture. What you gonna get raptured up into? Clouds? You know what I mean? Just regular clouds? Rain clouds? No, man. That's talking about the UFOs. Let's grab this real quick. This is on Matthew 24. Because remember, it said he was going to come with the angels, right? It's Matthew 24. Because how is this going to happen? Matthew 24, and I'm going to get straight to the point, 30. And then I'm going to start at 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Come on, man. Come on, man. The Lord ain't about to come like, floating on a nimbus cloud, like what's old dude, the genie, off Aladdin. Well, Aladdin coming in on a flying carpet, man. No, man. You see the Lord coming in power and great glory. What's going to be that power and great glory? When the chariots manifest themselves, man. This world have never seen, especially this present world, a chariot up close with power like that. Come on, man. You see? And it says, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the earth to the other, man. How is that going to happen? You see? How is that going to happen, man? By chariots, so-called UFOs, you see? Right? Let's get more. Let's go to Revelation. Let's go to Revelation, because that's my answer for vocab. My question for vocab. Well, that is the answer, that he coming back on chariots, and chariots, the UFOs are real. But my question is, if the Lord not coming back on so-called UFOs, then how will he make his second appearance? How will him and the angels come back? Will they just float back in? Which, yeah, that can happen. But what do the scriptures say how it's going to happen? What are these clouds? What is, you feel me? Again, what is it, a literal horse? And when you get beamed up, you got to get on the back of the horse. You feel me? With the Lord. And each angel going to have one person on the back of the horse with him, man. No, man. You see? But let me snag this. This is Revelation 11. And I'm going to get straight to the point. I'm going into the salvation. Revelation 11. And I'm going to go straight to the point. It says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, talking about the Israelites coming back, knowing who we are again, man. This great awakening. Like it says in Ezekiel 37, those dry bones, the sinews came back upon them, the flesh and the bones. Yeah, we coming back to who we are. Physically, Israelites from the tribes we from. And it says, and that breath came into us, the understanding of the word, man. And then we did what? Stand up and exceeding great army. It's saying the same thing. It says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Now listen to this, which is this is gonna come after prophesying, which salvation gonna come after prophesying. It says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither, and they ascended up into a hold on, listen to this. Listen to this, I'm gonna read it. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither, and they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. What is this cloud again? Is it a literal cloud that all the believers go just ascend up into? You see, you gotta wipe the cloud smoke out your face and see the next brother like, oh, shalom, bro, we made it. No, man. We ain't gonna ascend up into no literal cloud. So again, vocab, how would the elect be saved? What they go ascend up into? When they hear that voice from the Lord say, come up hither, what they go ascend up into? Again, Revelation said a white horse. Will we all just get on top of horses and start riding horses? Or is it going to be a literal cloud? How is the Lord going to make his appearance, man, if UFOs aren't real? You see? Let's get more. This is, I'm going to get that in Thessalonians real quick. All right? This is what it say about the elect again, going up into the heavens. And again, what are they going up into? What will they go up into, man? This First Thessalonians 4. And I'm going to start at 15 straight to the point. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain until the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Mashiach shall rise first. Rise into what? It says, then we which are alive and remain, watch this, shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, to meet the Lord in the air. So shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. Again, vocab, or whoever agree with what vocab saying that UFOs ain't real. You see? What are they meeting the Lord? We gonna meet the Lord in literal clouds or a horse? We gonna get horses up in there? Or how it's gonna be, man? These is talking about the chariots, and let's further prove that, man. Let's hit that second Esdras, right? I just want to get those in the New Testament real quick. Matter of fact, hold on. Let's go to the Old Testament before I get Esdras. What is this talking about? What do this mean in Isaiah? This is Isaiah 30. Isaiah 31, and I'm gonna start at 5. Isaiah 31 and 5. It says, as birds, I'm gonna start at 4. It says, for thus saith Yahweh, for thus have the Lord spoken unto me, like as the lion and the young lion roaring on his prey, when a multitude of shepherds is called forth against him, he will not be afraid of their voice, nor abase himself for the noise of them. That's how the Lord gonna be. When he come back, he ain't gonna be scared of the armies, because he gonna come back during World War III. The Lord gonna be scared of these armies, man. It says, so shall Yahweh of hosts come down to fight for Mount Zion. Telling you salvation gonna be for us. The Lord coming down to fight for us against these nations, man. It says to come down to fight for Mount Zion and for the hill thereof. This is how you go come down. As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also he will deliver it, and passing over he will preserve it. How he gonna come back as birds flying if UFOs ain't real? What is gonna be like birds flying? If it ain't a so-called UFO, how the Lord go come back as birds flying? Because a horse don't fly. A horse, you feel me, run. You know, a horse run, gallop, right? You know, just like Rudolph and the Red-Nosed Reindeer and them. They don't fly, they gallop, man. You know? But no, them chariots gonna maneuver like birds in formation, like birds, man. Better than birds, man. The only way for that to happen, the Lord to come back and defend Jerusalem as birds flying, is to be on them so-called UFOs, man. You see that? And that's how it's gonna happen, man. You know? Let me grab this. Going into the Lord coming back to defend this second Esdras. Second Esdras 13. And I'm going to start at 1, because this is Esdras having a dream of the Lord's second coming. It says, and it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Talking about the Lord Yahushua, him coming back with the angels. It says that man waxed strong with the thousands of heavens, and when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when it filleth the fire. Right? Talking about those beams the Lord gonna be shooting from those chariots. And so hold on, let's get a quick scripture to back that up. Yeah, the Lord gonna be coming back shooting beams, man. Let's back that up. This is Habakkuk. Let me see. Salaki, new sword. So I'm a little slow at swinging that thing. This is Habakkuk 3. And it says in Habakkuk 3. And let me see where I want to start. I'm going to start at 3. It says, and the Most High came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran, Selah. His glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise. And his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand, and there was the hiding of his power. Right, when you go into that side note of that word horns, it goes into beams, man. The Lord shooting out them laser beams, man. Fire. You see? And right, it goes into it, but that was the point I wanted. It says, verse 5, and before him went the pestilent and burning coals went forth at his feet. Right, shooting down that fire and them lasers, man. But we gonna go back to 2nd Esdras because it go further expound on that. It says 2nd Esdras 13 and 4, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, like as they burnt, that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together, right, a multitude of men out of number, talking about the armies of the nations during World War III, as it is written in what, Joel 3. It says, a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue that man that came out of the sea. So they go try to get Yahushua. It says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. Yahushua will come back, not just on a so-called UFO, but standing on that thing, man. You see, it says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. Right, tell you that's how big the Lord chariot gonna be. Esdras actually thought it was a literal mountain that was taken out of the earth. He looking like, now where the mountain come from? But no, the Lord chariot just gonna be that big, man. That big. Hey, it gotta be some type of entrance when it's saying all eyes shall see him. Come on, the Lord about to make his second appearance. You think it's about to be boring and dull, just him on just a horse? You know, on a cloud. No, man, come on, think about them chariots come, man. Yo, that's why it says and the world shall mourn when they see him. People gonna be dying, dropping dead at the sight of the Lord, man, because it's something they never seen. That's why, like in Jeremiah says, this exodus gonna be better than Egypt. Egypt ain't gonna no more be talked about again, right? Because it's gonna be way more glorious, man. And in order for something great not to be talked about, like in the first exodus with the sea splitting, that means something greater got to come after. And chariots, the Lord come in and him and the angels on so-called UFOs, that's great. Beaming the elect up, that's great. Come on, man. Fire gonna touch down. What's the only thing that can beam you up and get you out of here? And like I said, in the twinkling of an eye, a so-called UFO, man. If not, where and what else is it that the Lord and the angels coming back on, and how would the elect get saved if it ain't UFOs? You feel me? But continuing on, it says, verse 7, but I would have seen the region or place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this, I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue that man were so afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, talking about Yahushua seeing the armies stop fighting each other and started, try to fight him. It says he neither lift up his hand nor held sword nor any instrument of war. Watch this. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, talking about out of the chariot, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Talking about those beams, man. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, And a great tempest which fell with violence upon the multitude which were prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived but only dust and a smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Come on, man. Ain't no literal cloud about to do that. You see? Ain't no horse about to come and, the horse ain't about to do that, man. No, that's the chariots that's gonna do that, man. Right? Let's go to this, verse 49. Now when he destroyed the multitude of the nations that are gathered together, he shall defend his people that remain. And that's how the elect gonna get beamed up, man, by the so-called UFOs. And I ended off on this because that's what's gonna make the salvation that much more greater. That's what's gonna make the salvation something to remember, man. Right? UFOs, something this world have never seen up close and in person. Yeah, you got the little sightings of them with the dot in the eye. You looking up. Is it a plane? Is it a star? Is it a chariot? No, they're gonna be seen. You gonna see the form of them. You gonna see the lights on them. You see, high definition, in person, live and direct, man. Right? And that's what's gonna make the salvation that much more great, because it's something that the world have never seen, man. And I ended off on this. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Talking about the prophets on the highways and hedges. Going back to that Ezekiel 37, Revelation 11. You see Isaiah 19 on down. Right? It says, and when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. Talking about these heathens. Even 2/3 of our own people. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. Watch this. And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. So far beyond all that they look for. Because nobody expecting UFOs to come out the sky and the son of the heavenly father standing on one to save blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans and spics, niggas. You see? Bums. Nobody expecting that. You feel me? Who expecting that? Man, let's go into this word strange. I'm going to just get a quick Google definition, because it said the strangeness of our salvation, man. That word strange said not previously visited, not seen or encountered, unfamiliar or alien. And that's something, because what they say what did this world say in UFOs? Aliens, because it's something foreign. Well, when the Lord come back, it ain't gonna be aliens. It's gonna be Yahweh, Michael, and the rest of the angels, man. It's something never seen before. We all seen clouds before. We all seen white horses before, man. Come on, man. We all seen that before. Ain't nothing spectacular. Yeah, the Lord's creation is spectacular, regardless of what it is. But we see clouds. I'm looking at clouds right now, looking out the window. I'm trying to see the Lord come back shining, man. And them chariots gonna do it. He gonna shine himself regardless, but gonna be a little extra umph to it, man. Let's read on. When they see it, Wisdom of Solomon 5:2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed. Why you gonna be amazed just from seeing a cloud? Why you gonna be amazed just from seeing a white horse? You didn't see Santa Claus, right, with Rudolph and them, so you shouldn't be amazed seeing a horse or something in the sky, man. You feel me? But you gonna be amazed at a chariot, especially since you don't believe it's real. It says, and they shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for, because you're not expecting this. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, vocab, this is what you're gonna say, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, a proverb of reproach. These niggas, the ones who I went to the camp and put them on my page and scoffed against them. It says, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How was he numbered among the children of God and his lot among the saints? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth. And you don't got the truth. You don't got the truth. It says, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the well of wickedness. Right, you going to this city or that city to meet up with this camp and that camp and making video, all in the videos. You see, you wearying yourself for nothing, just for your destruction. It says, well, that's a spirit, because it says we wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts. Yeah, going everywhere. You see, It says where they lay no weight, but as of the way of the Lord, we have not known it. And that's what it is. You don't know the way of the Lord. You can't get this mystery that the so-called clouds in the scriptures and that white horse is symbolic for the chariots of Israel, man. That's how we going to be saved up out of here, man. The chariots of Israel. And there's way much more to go into. There's way more precepts to get, you know, but there was just something, through the spirit, man. But Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Hey, something, because we ain't really concerned about what these scoffers do. We trying to build our faith up. So this for elect, first and foremost, man. But I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Chakwadash. And with that, Shalom.